Hello YouTube, this is Ben Yesel. How's it going? Again, this is one of the many videos I'm making here soon. Some of this, I think, there's so many things that I've kind of just taken for granted, or I just done in the past that um, I haven't really talked about very much on YouTube. Just in terms of simply just playing video games, and also media things. I'll be talking about all of these things, so many other things as well. I'll still be talking about all kinds of other things, music stuff as well. So, but in this video, I'm going to be talking about some memorable characters for me personally from fantasy video games. So, pretty much, I'm leaving all the Elder Scrolls stuff out of this because none of the characters are really that memorable. I mean, yes, I suppose you could say that there's some characters from Oblivion that are kind of annoying, that are memorable that way. Yeah, I remember. I mean, like, if you mentioned a few of those folks or what they looked like or where they were, like, oh yeah, that guy, that one guy in Skingrad who's a Nord, and has a deep voice. Oh, is that one in? Okay, oh, I know who you're talking about, right? Or that crazy guy also in Skingrad, who thinks people are following him or something. Yeah, but the Elder Scrolls games tend to have more of the eccentric as well as the just they're not always very memorable because there's so many of them, and uh, yeah, they tend to be very linked to certain races, um, and the colors are muted. I don't know. They don't really put a lot of as much thought maybe into their characters come across as much as other things in the game. But anyway, so not so much in Elder Scrolls. It's more other stuff. And really, I've only played Oblivion and Morrowind, really, as far as Elder Scrolls, with any degree of depth. So, okay. So let's start out with Baldur's Gate. Um, Good place to start. I might mention a few other guys from Neverwinter Nights, maybe. But obviously, let's start with Servok. So, I'm hard pressed to think of a villain that I think was more intimidating and adrenaline pumping for me than fighting Servok in the past. It's hard for me to think of yeah, it really is. It's hard for me to think of any villain that I fought in a video game. Um, okay, they have your final bosses and things in certain other games. I haven't really played very much games. I haven't played video games from a video game system, so it's all been pretty much PC games, uh, personal computer, PC, IBM, whatever, compatible, whatever, all that stuff. So, but yeah, Servok was very scary, intimidating, evil in first Baldur's Gate and two, one and two, and Throne of Ball. I mean, for me, he was a much bigger deal than John Irenicus. Who was I don't want to spoil it much for you, but John Irenicus is in Baldur's Gate 2 and Throne of Ball, or Melisande, and all these other guys. To me, yeah, I remember John Irenicus and what he's like, but yeah, Servok was wow. you know, yeah, yeah. He's um, he's a bad boy. So yeah, he got my blood pumping. He was really scary, big boy. So Sarevok. That's a Sarevok. That's Baldur's Gate 1. Uh, yeah, he's scary. And Minsc and Boo. Of course, everybody knows about Minsc and Boo, who's played Baldur's Gate. I think he's one of the most recognizable characters. He's up there with all of the Nintendo characters like Zelda and Mario. He's probably really, really well known. Now, I think for me, there's a lot of people that probably like Minsc and Boo a lot more than I do. The probably hardcore Dungeons and Dragons people, and just your really, I say this in a nice way, like really geeky geek folks, right? But so I was never really. I guess I liked Minsc. He was okay, you know, but he's adult, and the game was always hinting that something was wrong with his head, and it probably was. They never really explained that. And I think that I know why. Keep the mystery going. Is he just is something wrong with him? Is did Does he have brain damage, or is he just mildly retarded or something? you know. Anyway, and so the funny thing about Boo is that and this is kind of a little bit funny. Sometimes there are those things, whether they're actual inanimate objects that you want to just, or that they're little animals like a Boo, pet hamster. But there's those things that people really are very mine, don't touch it kind of things. There's those items that people sometimes are very attached to, and sometimes you just want to take them temporarily just to get a reaction out of them because you just want to see what's going to happen. And I mean, like I remember, I think Baldur's Gate 2, you had Jan Johnson, the little gnome guy. You have him. He loves to do that with Minsk and just snatch Boo away and give him back. And, well, drove him crazy. But I remember that, That's the kind of stuff that I love. But, I mean, there's probably millions of people that probably like Minsk even more than I do. He just was very memorable to me. It really stood out. It really did. I mean, just one of the greatest characters ever created. So Minsk, Imoen, I always liked. It was always much more enjoyable. Playing Baldur's Gate when you had, it's like your sister kind of thing, playing, traveling with you, and and she had a kind of playful side to her, upbeat, kind, nice, soothing kind of quality. More like a sisterly kind of thing, not so much the love interest, right? But yeah, she's very feminine, nice personality, and she was the sister of the main character of the story. So in Baldur's Gate. Now Jaheira was kind of interesting in Baldur's Gate because again, she's also like Minsk. She's one of those characters that I think a lot of people liked more than I did. I still think Jaheira's fine. It's great. I just it's just me. The super feminist type women have never really been my cup of herbal tea, and they're fine. It doesn't. Jaheira, for instance, has never bothered me. Of course, it's never bothered me, her personality, but she is kind of a tough woman, tough elf, I should say. It's a half elf, as far as I remember. But she will. It's okay. So I think you know what I'm trying to say. I like feminine women, and she's kind of feminine enough to be. Apparently, Baldur's Gate 2, she was a love interest. If you wanted a bit more tough woman, with a backbone, But like she was memorable. I mean, but there's a lot of other characters that are like her. Really, so it kind of Jaheira doesn't always stand out as much as, and Minsk is really memorable, right? Really, he is the most. He's even more than Servok, because there's a lot of big bad guys with armor, like the Shredder, right? From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, although Servok, I think, is still makes the Shredder look like a little cartoon, right? Or just Servok put. I was genuinely scared fighting him, right? Even playing a video game when I was younger. So, yeah. But Minsk is probably the most memorable of all these guys, but still, Jaheira had certain things about her that are a little bit unique, I'm not really sure why she had this thing with Khalid. Khalid is such a weenie. He's just a weenie, man. Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like a champion MMA. I feel like a champion MMA fighter compared to that guy. And I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I'm not a wimp. I'm pretty tough, but I'm not naturally, really buff and muscular, but or not. I mean, there's probably people that are braver than me, but I just, gosh, Khalid was kind of again. Anyway, so I wasn't. Anyway, maybe who knows? Jaheira kind of was a bit more. Was one of those kinds of funny relations. Like Eri, I think was for a lot of people it's kind of annoying because she was so needy or kind of she's sensitive, emotional, and that could be appealing. And, there was another, possible romance thing with her in that game. I have certain trains of thoughts too when it comes to romances and fantasy games, and for the most part, I think they're great and fun and great, all good, so long as they're tasteful. I think, but I don't know. That being said, I'll get back to what I'm talking about here in just a second. Dragon Age, the origins, really kind of made it really kind of chore, and I think that was one of the downsides of that game was just okay, you have to say this to this person, this happened. It's just not worth it. Just to have this little scene where you have the main character have relations with a girl, come on now, that's ridiculous. Okay, I wasn't gonna talk. Okay, so Aerie was nice and pretty blonde and that kind of thing. So I very much as Baldur's Gate 2, but couldn't fight for heck, and she got powerful enough. Her magic kind of carried her a little bit, magic and healing. But yeah, I can tell you my ideal Dragon Age, my ideal Baldur's Gate party. There's a few of them. Usually involved Minsk and in Baldur's Gate 2, by the way. I can tell you about one ideal Baldur's Gate parties. Minsk, Valigar, I think. Sometimes I had the pompous night guy. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes it did. Sometimes it could go either way. But definitely Valigar is good, and Minsk, of course, myself, and Imoen. I usually took Imoen, and for the most part Jaheira. Yeah, sometimes Jaheira, but also I'm forgetting somebody. I don't always do. You of course Nalia and Imoen are very similar, so it's been a while since I played that game, but oh yeah, Jan Janssen, yeah, he was kind of my ace in the hole. I can tell you why. So I'm getting too much into Baldur's Gate. Anyway, so Elena from Wheel of Time. That's kind of an earlier game. I was just, she was very beautiful, blonde. I was kind of smitten by how beautiful she was. It was interesting. It's interesting when you're playing a woman in a game. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. But after a while, you're like, okay, it's really no different than playing a guy. You just, you're playing a female character. It's like, playing Alice Madness Returns. If you play Alice, you're playing Alice, but you're still, in control of her. So it's like, yeah, it's different, but at the same time, it's like, anyway. So, Alistair from Dragon Age. I still remember that guy. And the thing about Alistair, he's kind of the buddy, or the knight, or the one of your warrior guys in your party. That you had guys like that in Baldur's Gate, for instance, but maybe Ajantis in Baldur's Gate 1, kind of. Although I didn't really have a lot to say. And you had some more sulky types. But Alistair is different than Minsk, of course. Alistair is all there. Right. He's very much a knight, though. Very, and then, looks very, also kind of Nordic European, blonde, big guy. Somewhat, but yeah, Alistair actually reminds me a lot of his personality. Here's the thing about Alistair. Alistair reminds me a lot of people that I've known. So that's why it was so fun to have him in the party. He was his voice, the way he was, his personality, everything. But yeah, he's awesome. Alistair's one of my favorites, I think. Kind of reminds me also a little bit of my youngest brother. Yeah, but Morgan. So Alistair, I mentioned, was a little bit more Nordic looking, or I don't know, blondish. Morgan, extremely Celtic, extremely Irish. Right? Oh man, absolutely. Wow. Yeah. I mean, if you were to think of the first image that comes to your mind about the mysterious magic user, which you maybe call a witch, but oh yes, black hair, fair skin. mysterious green eyes or something. Morgan is as Irish as they come. Look at her name. I mean, and her personality, you can pretty much guess what she was like. Okay, well, a little bit of feisty, yeah, actually quite a bit of feistiness. They said she was kind of a little bit evil. Morgan is a lot like Jaheira. Jaheira is, even though they characterize Jaheira as being a neutral character, and Morgan is evil, it's kind of more like Jaheira is actually more good than evil. Morgan is pretty much neutral. She's not evil, but she's just kind of self-centered, basically. Morgan's a little bit more self-centered, and what's in it for me? Very memorable. I never could really tolerate her very long in my party, so I get to, oh, Morgan, you know. And yes, Morgan and Alistair, always at it, right? That's, you know, you kind of see those things coming. Alistair is kind of, he's not a blockhead. He's not a blockhead. He's a likable, funny guy. Because he's so little, not necessarily super jock-like, but he's kind of a tough guy. Kind of a jock, but at the same time he's very likable and very much your everyman kind of thing. Very friendly. Morgan is always kind of looks like she's kind of scheming. And she's always kind of, and she loves to tease. And she loves to tease Alistair because he's so, I don't know, you know, she's yeah, yeah, she loves to be a tease. I think that's the best way of putting it. Somewhat. There's definitely a side to Morgan that's crafty and ambitious. Yeah, yeah. So they're kind of a bit more. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so just those are some of my favorite characters from fantasy video games. Now there are certain tropes that there's there's websites about tropes in fantasy and everything like that. Go into all kinds of recurring character ideas. But these are some of the tropes that always, to me, immediately register. For instance, the big guy or the tank, like Minsc. The whiz kid, your really smart guy, wizard or something. The romantic interest, obviously, you can tell when the character made a character like that. I call it the nature person. It could be a guy or girl, the healer kind of. Yeah, if they're an elf, good chance it might be that kind of person, or wearing green, or they know how to use healing herbs, that sort of thing, all that stuff, right? Your jester type, your bard, jack of all trades, just a buddy, sidekick, friend. It could be a guy, girl. A lot of times it's a guy. In the case of Imawin, of course, that was more girl type sister, but you also have your weirdo types. All kinds of weirdos, but just maybe random types or funny types or annoying types. The annoying types, again, truly are annoying. I mean, sometimes it can be, at times it can be a detriment to wanting to play a game because it depends on the nature of the annoyance, I suppose. Put it that way. You have your sensitive romantic, kinds of, sensitives. I don't know, people that cry about every little thing. That's extremely sensitive, right? You might be thinking feminine. No, some guys can be rather sensitive too, romantic, so emotional. You have your big teddy bear, so you have your big guy, but instead of being just all, so they have a soft heart. Maybe you don't want to fight. Maybe this is immense, strong person, really, really powerful physically, but never wants to hurt a fly. That kind, that's very much a beloved kind of character. Your dogs, pets. I mean, obviously, we love dogs and stuff. So to have them in video games, it's classic. It always works. Always. You can always have a dog. There's always room for a pet or dog, especially if the game creators let you have a pet without it taking a spot in your party. If it does, it needs to be, of course, in Dragon Age, a big dog that can do damage. Now, of course, last one, and these I'm talking about more the sorts of people that you might have at your party, your own traveling party. But the wise old wizard, the mentor, most of the time, vast majority of the time, yes, Gandalf, in the Lord of the Rings, traveled with them, and he was by far the most powerful guy, especially when he came Gandalf the White, of course. But of course, when you're playing a video game, in order to make the game halfway challenging, obviously you don't want one of the really powerful wizards in your party because it would make everything so easy, right? So that's just never really included. But I could see a game where maybe to have a wizard in your party for a while is vital because you're so weak, and maybe some of the things you come across are kind of, it's interesting. I've never really thought about this idea, but you could have in a video game something kind of like Elder Scrolls where you just kind of go wherever. And I know that in Elder Scrolls the game kind of adjusts to your leveling, but you could have a game where maybe it's set up where there's not as much of a starting out in easier places and then you get to more difficult places later on. It can be kind of a bit more even Steven, somewhat, and having that really powerful wizard in your party can help you survive when you're weaker. But it doesn't really matter where you go. Everywhere is kind of similar, and you have some challenging areas and you have some easier areas, maybe probably more challenging in general. So that it can be interesting to kind of make your party members initially so powerful that it helps you survive, and then you get further along as part of maybe the nature of the plot, the wizard is killed mysteriously, right? That kind of thing, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, but again, this is memorable characters from fantasy video games. I'm sure you guys have tons of other characters that you just love, want to talk about. Unfortunately, until I play a game, of course, I might hear about them, I might know about them somewhat, but it really makes everything more. Uh, once you play a game, you really know understand a character very, very, very well. I think. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks.